Hi everyone, so it's Allie Duncan or Acadia Lee Veneer on Facebook, or my legal name is Richard Lee Duncan. My date of birth is March 8th, 1985, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Morgellons disease. Morgellons disease is two parasites. It's horsehair pneumotomorpha and pighair pneumotomorpha. These parasites are simply the hair off of the respective animal that the name says. Um, the parasite takes particles, metal particles or mineral particles into it from the animal's body, which then take heat to them from the magnetism of the sun and cause them to tighten down and keratinize into a fiber. Keratinizing is basically the process of particles becoming something solid. Anyways, so yeah, the cure for Morgellons disease is fenbendazole or febendazole. Safeguard. You buy it right at Tractor Supply store for $11 for this tube, and you take 1 gram of this per day, and it's going to kill the parasite and keep you healthy. Um, the parasite, what it does to it, which then causes bone cancer because the bone dies because the metals in the DNA that create bone marrow that create bone marrow are gone. So you take this febendazole, which is spelled Fenbendazole. You take that 1 gram of it, or just 1 gram of it per day, and it's going to cure you of Morgellons disease. There's two forms of this parasite, which is horsehair pneumotomorpha, which is the one that's more lighter. You don't get the itching. You don't notice that you have this parasite. You may notice it maybe once in a while if you do drugs or methamphetamine. You'll notice that your hair will come out blonder, or you'll have itching, get what's called meth bugs, because the parasite rises up out of the bone marrow from the pressurization of the methamphetamine. Anyways, the other parasite is what's known as pig hair pneumotomorpha, or the razor's edge. And the razor's edge basically is a barbed parasite. It's got barbs that come off of it, and that's because the particles flow into it and then they flow back out of it from lines of magnetism from the suns, and it creates the barbs on the parasite from the particles flowing outward. There's ionic responsive particles and there's magnetic responsive particles. So obviously it would be either the magnetic responsive particles clumping in the center or the magnetic responsive particles coming out on the edges with the lines of magnetism. But anyways, Morgellons disease was planted by Vladimir Putin to kill the entire world so that way he could rule the world and force people to go on life transference, life support, so that he could use their bodies to live forever by stealing stem cells that they generate. He has a bunker in Russia where 1,700 targeters are being held captive. He's kidnapped them one by one. Specimens, he calls them, which are people on life support being used to generate bone marrow. Dean Kamen is there. Dean Kamen was kidnapped from DECA 4 years ago, I think it was. He's been missing since then. His company covers this up. They're forced to. They're pressurizing my nose right now. Watch this. See the pressure drop? That's how you can tell you have a charger on. Because the ions from the charger bleed into the finger, reducing pressure and thus pulling back like that. Or if you want to know if you have a thyroid charger in, you go like this. You take your tongue, pressurize it against the roof of your mouth, run your finger up like that, and if your tongue makes that noise, it's because you're losing pressure from interrupting the flow of ions to the charger long enough for the charger to stutter for a second and then stutter the pressurization in your mouth. These chargers are 1 to create thyroid cancer, 2 to create periodontal cancer. They use them all over the human body. These chargers are what you're feeling in your body, okay? And they've been designed with a calcium base so that they don't show up on imaging. They only have a graphite brush inside of them that could show up, but it's surrounded by calcium, so it's hard for this to show up on imaging. You have to use ultrasound. You have to tell them where you felt it last. Good luck finding a healthcare professional that doesn't have it in themselves so that they're going to cooperate with you because they're scared enough for themselves. They see the people coming in dead all the time, so it doesn't work. We need to start self-governmenting, and that means calling other countries. That means demanding that they check the cloud line for drones. That means checking over state hospitals for drones. That means checking over mental hospitals for drones. That means checking over schools for drones. They do this to harvest DNA with magnetism because DNA is mostly metals. That's why the iron in the bone is the catalyst for bone marrow. Or was once believed to be. On another note, they have my magnetic neck breaker engaged. What happens is they'll put you in the hospital. They'll put you in the hospital for gallbladder purge, say. They purge your gallbladder by putting magnetism on it, and bile is all metal particles, so they press it out with the pressure of the magnetism, and it pushes into your stomach, and it makes you vomit. So you get so sick that you go to the hospital, and at the hospital, they give you so much morphine that you're passed out. Then they come in, flip you over, give you some sort of an injection in your butt really quickly, harvest DNA to kill you, to cause pancreatic cancer, to cause heart attacks. There's all kinds of stuff that these chargers can be used for because it's electricity. You can use it to afibrillation, all kinds of stuff. I'm right now. They're just pinpointing me. Pinpointing is when they pinpoint a magnetism to go to the last active spot in the brain to remove a memory. It does this by going to the protein, which is a star-shaped 3D pattern of proteins. They're in a pinwheel pattern, and they have plasma inside of them, which encode a memory into them. They do this by magnetizing it to rearrange the metal particles which are inside the plasma, which encode the memory with pressurization, because which is a straight line of magnetism coming from a drone to your earpiece, which has 2 balls on the end, and it clicks over your ear canal. It's placed by pulling it with magnetism up behind your tonsil, up above your ear canal, clicking it back down in. Anyway, so what happens is the magnetism hits this, and it has an electrical current going into it, so the particles align just right and vibrate those 2 particleized balls that vibrate like this. That vibration then goes to the cochlea, which is translated to sound in the mind. So what happens with a cue is they then whisper into your ear, in your own voice, in your own state of mind, not your own state, whispers of the mind. It overrides that in two tiny whispers by saying it to you, and then you to yourself, and that's it. Mind control. You mistake it for a thought of your own, and it can actually make you feel really bad. It can make you feel really good. It can make you feel like you're a lousy person and you've misjudged something, or you've done a bad deed. A cue can really mess with your mind and control the way you think. Like, say if you're a world leader and you had to launch nukes on Russia because Russia was using drones to listen in and radiate people's heads to cause cancer, to cause a massive die-off of the human race within 17 years, because it takes 17 years for these parasites to leach all the bone marrow creating metals from your bones. 17 years, that's it. In 17 years, you're dying of bone cancer. Anyways, so yeah, 17 years. They've just pinpointed me again. See the silica bunching over here? See the white blanching from the magnetism? Watch my neck. Anyways, see the silica traveling down now? See that? That was them sucking silica out of my neck. Anyways, they're going to edit that away. It's not going to look like it's there. It's going to be pixelated. They're going to do something. Don't think I'm crazy. They do this to me all the time in my videos. Be prepared for this. You have to watch the video within the first couple seconds, or it's edited and changed. My phone number again is 1-603-315-1725. The cure for Morgellons disease is fenbendazole, or fabendazole. It's owned by Merck, and it's a safeguard. It's Safeguard that you can buy at Tractor Supply. It's for equine, which is for horses, but it is safe for humans to take. If you look online, you'll see that there's a study where they tried 10,000 times the dose and they couldn't find a toxic limit in humans. So you can take more than a gram. It's not going to hurt you, but for monetary purposes, stick to a gram, because it's going to, that's all that you need. That's all that you need is a gram a day. What I like to do is I take it and I mix it in with my yogurt, and I eat the yogurt. So that's probably the best way to take it, or just squirt it in your mouth. So 3 days not here is a gram. So you screw this thing right here down, it clicks. Duncan, my date of birth is March 8th, 1985. My social security number is 009748779. And my date of birth is March 8th, 1985. I think I already said that. I'm issuing right now a standing exhumation order. I've done this before, saying that I can be exhumed at any point, at any time, by anyone for any reason, at any time, by anyone for any reason, unless it's Vladimir Putin or his cronies, or Donald Trump or his cronies, which would be associates or affiliates. So anyone affiliated with Donald Trump or associated with Donald Trump or anyone affiliated with Vladimir Putin or associated with Vladimir Putin may not exhume me. But on the other side of that, I'm welcome. Everyone else is welcome to do it. World leaders are exempt from this clause of Vladimir Putin because I understand that just because they work in the same industry doesn't mean they're the same person. I give my safe deposit boxes at TD Bank Alton, New Hampshire, and TD Bank Latham, New York, to the country of the United Kingdom. I also make them my power of attorney, and I make them my executor of will. I also ask that my body go to the United Kingdom upon my death. I'm making this video because my magnetic neck breaker has been going off today really bad, worse than it's ever done. It's been cracking, and I know that my time here is limited.